You are now about to witness the strength of street knowledge.
What's up, family? How y'all doing? It is your girl, your diva in knowledge, Lady Mocha, representing Mocha's Cafe de Paris, where I'm always serving you wisdom, knowledge, and spiritual awareness. Big ups to everyone. Hope everybody's doing good. Hopefully your week is going smoothly. If not, just stay encouraged. You never know. Things can't possibly get better. So, nevertheless, y'all, I thought it was very imperative that I talked about this. Basically, how the broken baby mama culture is at all-time high. And I think it's very imperative that we discuss this because I'm starting to notice there's far too many black women within the black community that has become very content at just settling to be a baby mama. And I realize the reason for that. There's several factors that play into this problem. And these are really the issues that a lot of content creators, they don't really care to discuss because it's very taboo. And the other reason is that being a single mother is very glamorized. Nobody's not really telling the raw, honest truth that being a single mother is not a prize, is not something that should be celebrated. But I will also say this, that every woman does not deserve to be bashed, because truth is, every mother that is a single mother is not because she chose that path. Some have lost their significant other who they was committed to or married to through an unfortunate death. You know, death happens. You know, a lot of women are losing black men due to the violence of other black men. So let's just face it. Look at how young Dolph, you know, the mother of his two children is a single mother. Same thing with King Von. I could go on. You know, it's so many rappers, you know, that we know of who have children out here. And they lost their lives due to some street shenanigans. And, of course, when these guys got here and unalive other black men, not realizing that they have just created a single parent home. So it's not always at the merit of the mother. Maybe the father ended up in prison because he chose not to live legally the right way. He wanted money the quick and fast way, and it costed him to be incarcerated, you know, for the majority of his life. So, you know, a lot of women are single mothers because you have some men who choose to be career criminals versus getting a legit gig, a legit way of income. They want to make it the fast way, and unfortunately, fast money also could lead you to, you know, having to do fast time. You know, you get locked up quick, but the sentencing is a longevity. You know, we're talking about 15, 20 something years. Some cases, some of these men got life for, you know, going out here taking lives of others. So a lot of women are single mothers due to the fathers of their children being incarcerated for poor choices. If not that, the marriage just did not work out. There was a divorce that took place. So did not mean she did not go about it the right way. The marriage just did not work out. So under those pretenses, you have a lot of women that are single mothers. But other than that, you have a lot of these young black women that are not even 30 years old yet. And I'm noticing how infatuated so many of them are when it comes to getting pregnant. You know, it's so glamorized and it's so celebrated. Every time these young women get pregnant, first thing they do is go on social media and they post their ultrasound. They're quick to let everybody know, you know, that they have a baby shower coming up, you know, and it's a lot of single parenting or the baby mama struggle is being glamorized. You know, a lot of these women, you know, they love to advertise their pregnancy, and you'll see them advertise their pregnancy without the father of their child, or if it is so happen the father of the child is present, but he's not married to her, he did not commit to her, and yet they're posting all of these baby shower photos of how the baby shower is beautifully decorated, and they're so excited that they're getting attention that they're not used to getting. It's something about, for some women, pregnancy is an attention grabber. A lot of females are intentionally going out here getting pregnant because they like the attention they get from pregnancy. They love the baby shower. They love the baby shower gifts. They love the fact that the father at the time, in some cases, is giving her a lot of attention. So it's a lot of false advertisement when it goes on to these young women that have not realized that they just signed up for a lifetime of struggle. When they make the decision to have a child and the father is not married to them, they're still living with their moms. The fathers of their children, or of their soon-to-be born child, is still living with his mother. In some cases, neither one barely graduated high school, or they just graduating high school. And the sad part is, I really fault the older women of the black community, because these are the ones whose daughters are getting pregnant. These are the ones that are throwing together these baby showers. These are the ones that are glamorizing, and they're proud to become soon-to-be grandparents, grandmothers, because to them it's like a joyous moment. But I can't speak for other women, but I will say for myself, if I were to ever find out that my daughter was pregnant and had a child on the way, knowing that she's still living with me, can't even get on her own feet, knowing that the father of her child, he's not stable, still living with his parents, he won't keep a job, he still lacks stability, I would really be freaking out, literally. I would freak out. And I think any woman who really wants the best for her daughter, we don't find joy in knowing that your daughter is going to become a single mother of her first child, or worst case scenario, second, third child. Any woman who's a mother knows the struggle, understands the hardships that come along with being a parent. And if you understand the hardships, you would literally be losing your mind knowing that your daughter has this human being that's growing inside of her, that's going to be produced through chaos, through lust, through instability. If you're a real woman and you understand the hardships of parenting, you would literally be freaking out. You would be freaking out. You would be worried. And if you have any type of, real parenting in you, you're going to be more concerned with schooling and preparing your daughter, your child, versus more concerned with planning the baby shower. And, the same thing applies if you have a son that's going to be the father for the first time of from another young woman who is not stable. She doesn't have her stuff together. She's not responsible. You should be freaking out as well. You know what I mean? Because sooner than later, you're going to see your son have to face the harsh reality of having a child from a woman who he's not married, who he hasn't been committed to. He's never been a father, and he realizes the responsibilities. He realizes that child needs to be fed, that child needs to be clothed. Everything costs us money, and your son has always been independent, always took his money and did what he wanted to do, buy cars, buy rims. But now all the money he's been making has to go towards a child, and you see him being neglectful because he's realizing he really can't handle the responsibilities of being a father. It's too much on him. He has not fully transitioned from boyhood into manhood to even know how to father a child into becoming an adult themselves, because he has not even fully formed the transition from boyhood to manhood. So a lot of this in the black community, I definitely blame the parents for it. A lot of the time as a parent, especially those of us as mothers, the majority of the time we are the children are in the care of us. Your daughter, your son is in your care. And the truth is, a lot of these older women out here, they're very oblivious. Some of these women, and men, some of these parents are practically in denial. It doesn't take a rocket scientist to figure out when you have a daughter that is out there and you see she's being promiscuous. You see she's become boy crazy. She's been with the same boy for years. And you're starting to notice that she's getting more and more heavily involved with him. She's constantly more into him than she's into her education, then she's into trying to better herself. Every time you turn around, she's always on the phone with her boo thing. She's always out with her boo thing. She's always posting pictures on her Instagram and her Facebook of her boo thing. And everything you starting to notice in her life is being consumed into her boyfriend or her man. She's not talking about going to college. She's not talking about starting her own business. She's basically has lost all of herself. And the sad part is, a lot of us as older black women, we're not preparing our daughters for the reality. A lot of these young black women think that they're going to play house when they get pregnant. They think as soon as they get pregnant, all of a sudden their baby daddy is going to be in love with him, because a lot of these young guys, they play the role because they're excited at first. They don't know the responsibilities. They don't understand what they're really in for. It's exciting at first, the baby shower, the gifts, all the attention, everything is exciting. But once this baby gets here and this baby cries and screams and poops and pisses and medical bill, doctor bills, the baby needs medicine that needs to be paid for. When you realize the responsibilities, it's not that exciting anymore. And I think the problem is a lot of women are preparing their daughters for how these young men are going to flex and fold on them as soon as it gets hard. Because truth is, when you're the woman, most of the weight is going to be on you. Bottom line. In a perfect world, yes, I feel like men should be there 100%. But the truth of the matter is, whenever you have a child, the majority of the work is on the woman. And I think what it is, a lot of these young ladies are making decisions based off of a fantasy that they want fulfilled. And a lot of these fantasies come from the fact either they're stubborn, or they don't listen, they're hard-headed as hell, or they got mothers who aren't preparing them for the reality. And you have to do that. I was very clear with my daughter. I made her understand, even when I seen her becoming heavily involved with certain guys, I'm starting to notice she's, putting a lot of time and energy and effort into trying to keep her boyfriend, and, seeing what she was going through, dealing with the disrespect, dealing with, these young men, not understanding that there's a certain way that you're supposed to treat a woman, So witnessing my daughter go through a lot of that, I had to be very transparent with her and make her understand that there's nothing wrong with dating a guy, wanting to be with him. And even if it gets to the point where you feel comfortable enough to where you want to be sexually involved with him, it's very imperative that you protect yourself, because when you get pregnant, it changes the whole dynamics. And I ain't saying this is the case with every man, but the truth is, a lot of these young dudes out here, these young Thundercats, they start moving different. Once that female has put it out there, I'm pregnant, it starts to change the dynamics. He no longer has that attraction that he used to have because her body changes. And not only that, the dynamics changes, meaning that once before she got pregnant, he was able to come over there and just smash her multiple times. But now this has went from smashing to a responsibility. Now he sees that all of this time he's been going unprotected and being sexually involved with this young woman, she's carrying his seed. And what tends to happen is the child, that's supposed to be a blessing, a beautiful thing. Babies change the dynamics in a relationship, especially if y'all both were not financially, emotionally, mentally, and spiritually prepared for it. And the problem is we have a lot of babies having babies, meaning we have a lot of immature females and immature young males that are making adult decisions by having sex, but when the consequences, such meaning the child derives from that, now here comes a little boy, a little girl in them, they want to run away from it. They don't want to deal with it. And again, a lot of it has everything to do with a lot of women aren't being transparent with their daughters. You need to make your daughters understand that once they decide to go forward in full term 9 months of pregnancy, that a lot of shit is going to change for them. I don't care how long you've been having sex with this man, how long you've been going with this man, the dynamics are going to change. He's not going to be feeling you the same unless there was already a genuine commitment there, or real love was already set there. This baby wasn't born out of lust or on the spur of the moment or just multiple sexcapades. Like there was already a solid foundation, a real relationship. If a real relationship wasn't already established before the child, it's not going to be established after the child. And I think this is the problem with a lot of the young black women in our community. They want so badly to fulfill that fantasy of having a family. And see, back in the day, all you had to do was like a young man. I know during my era, but you know, I'm certain back then you got a lot of women back then who still had that modern baby mama mindset. But for the most part, back then you would court a guy that like you simply on you just being you. But now what is starting to happen is a lot of these young women, when they find a guy they like, they find a boy they're really into, liking him is not enough anymore. They actually want to get pregnant to keep him, out of fear that he's going to leave and be with someone else, only to find out after she got pregnant to keep him, out of fear of losing him, that he still left her and now she's a single mother and still has to do it by herself. And the thing is, women, this is why you need to be coaching your daughters and talking to them and making them understand that, look, if you're not taking the proper precautions, you're not protecting yourself, you're not on birth control, you intentionally put yourself in this position so you can keep this young man in your life, not understanding that when he gets tired of it, because he's going to get bored. It may be cute to him the first couple of months because it's new, you know, but after a while, it becomes a burden. And when you're dealing with the boy versus a man, they run away when things become too overwhelming for them. And this is the problem. This is why a lot of young black women are so angry and they're so ratchet. A lot of them are trying to escape the poor choices that they made. I mean, I can't even begin to tell you, because we just had the Orange Crush event here in Savannah. 6 young women that I know of that's already struggling with being a single mother. The fathers aren't involved. They don't have too much support from the other side of the family. And their families, their mothers, their fathers getting burnt out. A lot of these females was at the Orange Crush, acting as if they don't have children. And I realized that what's going on with a lot of these young women out here is that they realize they have bitten off more than they could chew. that there's really no glamour to the single mother struggle. They realize behind closed doors it's not as pleasant as they thought it would be. A lot of these young women are finding out that a lot of these dudes are going ghost. They going ghost. They can't deal with the responsibility. They go ghost. And again, you as the mother, because you're the woman, it's easy for them to leave and walk away and sound tired. But for whatever reason, we are always the ones holding the bag. It's always been that way. You can say it's unfair. You can say it ain't right. But this is even more of the reason why women should be very selective with who they choose as their baby daddy. Because, truth be told, most of the work is going to be on you. And a lot of these young women was at Orange Crush wearing 2-piece bikinis, tits, oatmeal cream pie, hanging out, cottage cheese, bullet wounds, bad bodied, after having multiple children. And they're at an Orange Crush event. An event that should only be for women who are free, who don't have children that their mamas or grandmamas got to keep. It should be an event for women who are young ladies who are single, living their best life, have no responsibilities. I've seen more single mothers at that Orange Crush trying to lure the attention of another sucker. Look on Instagram, a lot of these young women wearing 2-piece bikinis already got 2, 3, 4, 5 children at home. And this is the reason why a lot of them keep having kids, because you have family who keeps keeping the children for them. Mama keep keeping the kids. Grandmama keep keeping the kids. That's why a lot of them feel comfortable with going back and forth, having multiple children, because they really don't have to feel the burden as strongly, because they have that support. They have that help. So anyway, a lot of these young women was at the Orange Crush seeking attention, when really the only attention they should have been seeking is from their children. And this is the aftermath of when you have children, from a man thinking it's going to trap him, thinking it's going to keep him at bay, only to find out that you can have multiple children from the same dude and he still go ghost. Or you got multiple children, all of them with different last names, or all of them have the same last name, which is your last name, and none of their fathers aren't there. So what tends to happen is a lot of females who put themselves in this type of situation, they don't want to face the failure. So what they do is escape the misery by still trying to do what they see single women who are kid-free, stress-free, they want to do what they're doing. The single women who don't have the responsibility and the baggage, able to wear their 2-piece because they still got their bodies, not having multiple children, getting oatmeal cream pie and bullet wounds on the thighs and all this other stuff or whatever. A lot of single mothers in the struggle want to do what single women who are not in a single mother struggle are doing. Single women are going to the club. If she's single, she can mingle. She don't have kids waiting on her. She not burdening mama life, grandmama life. She's doing her. The single mothers in the struggle, they run from their own struggles that they create. They run from it. They don't want it. They can't handle it. Especially when they know the baby daddy, he is out here living his best life. He's out here still getting women, still dripped down in the designer label, shirts, jeans, and shoes. And here it is, she got to struggle because everything that she does, she has to financially contribute towards her child first. Struggling to get her hair done, struggling to get her nails done. Oh, you got some women, some females in a single mother struggle like this. Damn the kids. I don't care if little JoJo got to wear the same pull-up for another 3 days. I'm getting my hair done. I'm getting my nails done. I'm doing me. A lot of these single mothers that are in the struggle go out here trying to move like single women and really can't move like single women. Then when they get out there, they get frustrated because they realize ain't too many dudes checking for them like that. Especially when you're only offering what thousands of other women always offer, which is TNAs, tits and ass. And you have a lot of these young women, they really think that it's programmed in their psyche that they can win a man over based on how big their asses are and how big their titties are. You got females who really think that that is what's going to get them far. Only to find out is the only thing it gets you is multiple children, a reputation, and dudes are looking at you like you a damn liability risk. No, not too many men, and I'm gonna keep it a buck. And if it don't apply, you ain't got to reply, let it fly. Ain't too many men gonna deal with women who got multiple children. That's just a fact. So y'all can save all of, hear me roar, I'm a strong black woman, and it's not right for men to be discriminating on women because they have multiple children. Listen, I know dudes with multiple kids themselves who still don't want a female who got multiple children. You say it right, you can say they ain't fair, because guess what? If he already got 8-9 kids of his own and he decides to be with you, and like I said, because women, the kids are always with us, he's with you, he's gonna have to be, that's like still being with 8-9 kids. Truth is, you have a lot of these same females that will sit up here and always complain about the baby daddies being a deadbeat. My baby daddy's a deadbeat. But at the same time, believe it or not, a lot of these women, they're not even cut out for being mothers, even though it's something they signed up for. They won't admit it because they know they're pretty much stuck. And they really can't get out of it if they wanted to. But the truth is, a lot of women who have multiple children, it does not mean she really takes pride or joy into being a mother. Her children are just a responsibility and a means of income. You know, a lot of women just see their children as resources, but it does not mean they really want to parent them. These are the women you see at the Orange Crush. These are the women you see in the club. These are the women you see on Instagram smoking blunts, drinking Hennessy. These are the women you see, you know, still trying to live their best life versus putting their children as number one priority. They really don't want their own children. And then the truth is, they're also upset, to add insult to injury. Furthermore, the men who they chose to have their children from, they're even more upset at the fact that those men would not choose them. Those men would not wife them or marry them. It's sad that a lot of these women, their own baby daddy won't choose them. They won't even choose them. They'd rather lose them than to choose them. These are the women that are at the Orange Crush, at the clubs, on Instagram, you know, dressing like thought targets, trying to lure other men, trying to get other men to notice them. They're not about the single mother struggle. They're not about that life. No different than, you know, you got a lot of people that work a job they hate, but they got to work that job in order to pay the bills, but they don't really like that job. They don't like what they do. That's the same way it really operates with some of these females when it comes to being a single mother. They take care of their children because they have to. They deal with them because they have to. But in actuality, they really don't like being a mother. That's why every chance they get, they escape having to deal with their own children. Leave them on their moms. Leave them on their grandmothers. Leave them on their friends. Or if they got a baby daddy that is fully active, they're always leaving a child on the father of their child. Because the truth is, the glamour of the single mother struggle is not all of what it's cracked up to be. It's tiresome. It's exhausting. Children are very expensive. And honestly, another thing is, and it's not to pick on anyone who has children, but some of these children are autistic. They come here with mental issues or physical issues that's more noticeable, like cerebral palsy, something like that. And a lot of women wasn't prepared for that. They didn't think they was going to have, children with a type of issue. And that makes parenting even more of a challenge when you really don't want to be a parent. But on top of that, you have a child that has a special condition that's going to require real parenting versus, caring for a child that may not have special needs. They're called special needs children for a reason. Special needs because they have special needs. If not that, a lot of these children are undisciplined because their mothers are too busy running the streets trying to still live her best life like she's a single woman. And she's not home disciplining them. She's not home teaching them how to clean up behind themselves. She's not home teaching them how to flush the toilet behind themselves. She's nowhere in their lives. She's not in their life enough to teach them how to be responsible. Because she's at the Orange Crush. She's at the clubs. She's everywhere but home with her child where she should be. And this just goes to show you how much a lot of these women really don't love the single mother struggle. They really don't love being a parent. You can tell a woman who loves being a parent, she's very attentive to her children. She takes them places. She's not always leaving them on family. You're not always seeing her on Instagram and Facebook turned up, smoking, drinking, trying to live the single woman life. She takes her kids to church. She takes her children traveling out of town. A lot of these women, they don't even want to travel with their kids. They rather travel with their homegirls so they can smoke some weed and drink. They don't like taking their kids too many places with them. You can always tell, number one sign, if you see her on Facebook more by herself and you see 2-3 pictures of her kids. But it's 80 to 200 pictures of her. You see a bunch of pictures of her out there smoking, out there drinking, out there in the club, out of town, in Orlando, in Miami. See her everywhere, but you rarely see her children with her. She may have 1 or 2 pictures of her kids. And that's it. This is how you can tell that a lot of these women are not admitting it, but they regret the single mother struggle. And they think they can go back and grab the time that they done lost by going back to the clubs, going to all these festivals and Orange Crush, these beach events and stuff. And really, you should be home raising your children. Now, this is not to say that a woman should not enjoy her life when she becomes a mother. There's nothing wrong with still going out sometimes. Like I said, sometimes in moderation. But it shouldn't be to the point to where other people have your kids more than you. And it's sad, but this generation, they don't feel embarrassed. They don't care about burdening their mothers and grandmothers. And I would say it is y'all's fault. To all the mothers, all the grandmothers, in some cases grandfathers, active fathers, y'all out there have the kids 24/7. The kids are with you the majority of the time, and she's not working, or even on her days off when she is not working, she doesn't try to relieve you. Every once in a while, I mean, it's her child too. A lot of women in the single mother struggle have been created as monsters. Somebody somewhere along the way keeps giving them breaks. And in the long run, what it does is it causes issues with the child being able to bond with the mother. Because a lot of young women, considering the fact, yeah, you running the streets now, you doing what you want to do, you doing you having a good time, but meanwhile, time is getting away from you. Your child is getting older. And to all the grandparents and parents that are enabling females like this, keep in mind, at some point in time, as these children get older, it's going to be less and less you're going to be able to do with them. You're going to need their biological mother to get away from the clubs and come back into your grandchild's life. and be there, because you're getting up in your age, grandparents. You're getting up in your age. You're not going to be able to keeping your children, your grandchildren, all the time. I forgot how the saying goes. If you spoil, I'm gonna try to see if I'm gonna look up that saying, because I think it's very important line from what I'm speaking upon right now, because I think this quote is definitely going to fit the narrative that I'm really trying to get across. Let's see if I can find it. I found it. If you raise your children, you can spoil your grandkids. But if you spoil your children, you'll end up raising your grandkids. And that's the God's honest truth. If you got your adult children and you're enabling them, doing everything for them, guess what? You're going to be raising their kids. You're going to be raising your grandchildren. A lot of these women who are mothers, they really don't want to deal with the struggle. Even though in the initial beginning it's cute because of the baby showers, because of the attention, after a while, when reality sets in and they realize that being a parent is more than just flossing and flexing and placing and putting ultrasounds on Instagram for people to congratulate you, when the attention wears off, you got to deal with the reality. You got to deal with the responsibilities. A lot of these women out here, and they don't want to take care of their own children. But because the children are with them, they don't feel like they're not taking care of them. Guess what? Newsflash. You can have your children living with you, and it does not make you a good parent. It's easy to call the other parent a deadbeat because you are the one with the child the majority of the time, based on how the child support system is structured. So it's easy for you to throw out the word deadbeat, because the father is not always there to defend himself. The children are always with you, so therefore it makes you look more believable compared to the father. But the truth be told is, a lot of young women have put themselves in a situation in which they have made grown women decisions at such a young age, and it's costing them their youth. And a lot of you older women who have missed out on your youth because you had children early from multiple guys, or all of your kids from the same no good dude, you already know the struggle. So that should be even more of the reason you should be passing down your wisdom, knowledge, and understanding to your daughters, because you done already went there. You went through it. You should be directing them to go a different path. But no, what a lot of you mothers are doing, y'all are going to the party city and buying the decorations. Y'all are passing out the invitations, helping, encouraging this young lady, helping her to set herself up for failure. Because you got her thinking that what she's getting ready to experience is not going to change her life. You're not preparing her for the truth and the troubles that lie ahead. Truth is, you could always tell that the single mother struggle is real when you're seeing a lot of these single moms out here trying to move and do what single women do. They in the clubs twerking harder than the single women. You know why? Because they know they're not prime choice. They know that they are in competition with other women who don't have other females who don't have near as much baggage as they do. The single mothers, they're dressing more skimpier. They're trying to be noticed more. They're reaching higher. They're doing the most to get attention. Because like anything else, when you have to constantly overly advertise your product, it's because the product is not that good. You don't see a bunch of Bentley commercials. You don't see any Rolls Royce commercials. They don't have to constantly keep advertising those type of cars on that level of luxury, because the quality, the name speaks for itself. When you see a Bentley or a Phantom or a Rolls Royce, you already know what it is without even the name, the logo being on the car. You know it, because the quality stands out alone. Now you have these other dealerships like Kia, Sophia, and Ford that got to constantly keep advertising their brand because it's not really top of the line. And that's the same way it is, with the mindset of a lot of these women. Anytime a woman has to constantly keep overly advertising herself by twerking on the hoods of the cars, posting all these thought trap pictures and everything, is because she does not feel she has value or quality. But a woman who knows her worth, she's not going to always floss tits and ass, always posting photos and pictures of herself, overly revealing herself, you know what I mean, overly exposing herself, because she knows her value, she knows her quality. So she doesn't feel the need to constantly keep doing that. She's not always out looking for DNA, dick, and attention. You know what I mean? So a lot of these single moms, they have to realize you made the decision to become a mother. Nothing wrong with living your best life, but you cannot move and do like you used to do before you started having children. You need to be home reading to your kids. You need to be home feeding them. I get it. You want to run away from your children because you feel like the baby daddies are living their best life. You don't want to deal with the heart pain, the reality, the rejection. So your way of deflecting and projecting is by running the streets, going out, acting like you're not a mother. But even after all that is said and done, you still got to come back home, feed your kids, take care of your kids. And if you're not doing that, your mothers, your parents, all of these people that's enabling you, it may come a time when they're not going to be able to be there. God forbid if they were to pass away. God forbid if they get sickly on you. I've seen women that I grew up with who left their children on their kids and would constantly work or run the streets so they can avoid not having to deal with the child they created. Only to find out years down the line running into them. Matter of fact, I had a friend, she was actually a friend of my mother's. She always had her kids on her mother. She had a son and a daughter. She had 2 kids. But she constantly left them on her parents. Her mom. The mother used to live with her. And her brother used to stay with her. So it was like a family. You know, they all lived under one roof. And her mom always had her son and her daughter. Ran into her a few years back. Her kids are in their middle 20s now. The same son and the same daughter her mama was raising. Her mother had passed away several years ago. When it was her turn to take over and be a mother, because she had gotten used to leaving her kids off on everybody, did you not know she was not able to function with her own children? This is the catch-22. When you get so used to leaving your children off on other people, and something happens where you no longer have that advantage, and now you have to deal with your children directly, you're not going to know how. She basically taught my mother how bad her daughter really was. She was explaining how her daughter was off the chain, irresponsible, on drugs, just wilding the fuck out, just wilding out. Cause see, the grandmother who always took care of her died and went on to be with the Lord. You get what I'm saying? A lot of y'all don't think about that, cause you young, you wild, you got a lot of thought behavior going on. You done made yourself a thought target. You're not thinking about down the line when your children become teenagers, 15, 16, and you haven't been there since they were 3 and 4 because you left them on mama, left them on daddy, left them everywhere. And you get in a situation you got to deal with them. You're not going to know how to deal. They're not going to know how to receive you trying to mother them because you never did. It's basic common sense. I really wish older women, y'all would stop glamorizing. Stop letting these girls know you can do it by yourself. You don't need no man. You don't need a baby daddy to raise your children, because that's a lie. Just like it takes two to take care of children, it takes two to raise a child. So anyway, y'all, I'm pretty much going to go ahead and shut it down on this. I just thought it was imperative that I talked about the single mother struggle. It has gone on for far too long, you know what I mean? And a lot of these women out here bit off more than they could chew. And what it is, they're so into their own emotional chamber. They're upset at life, at the responsibilities they done created. They're angry with the father of their children who disappointed them, who's not putting in work to make things a little easier for them. So they think they could escape it by going to Orange Crush, going to the club, getting high, drinking. You have a lot of single mothers that are alcoholics. They drink a lot to escape their problems. They smoke a lot. They want to stay high, want to stay tipsy, not having to deal with reality. You get what I'm saying? So anyway, y'all, leave y'all comment below. Let me know what y'all think of this. The single mother struggle is at an all-time high. What is y'all opinion? Do y'all really think that a lot of these women are escaping responsibilities because of the poor choices they don't want to have to live with? Or do you think also the fact that they too had mothers who did not school them, who did not prepare them for reality, letting them know the consequences if they chose not to take a decent route? So anyway, y'all, it's been real. Thank y'all for still being loyal to me, subscribing to me. Remember, guys, ladies, same thing. I'm still selling cable. $9,000. I'm sorry, $9,000. Oh hell no! I know y'all won't buy no cable from me if I'm selling them for $9,000. No, but it has 9,000 channels. Okay, I do have 2 sticks available on hand. I just ordered some the other day. So if you want cable, with 9,000 worth of channels, all your VH1s, all your Netflix regulars and everything. I understand Netflix is the shutdown, the shared accounts and stuff like that. I got a lot of Netflix originals on the stick. So all you have to do is send me $60. Your cable, the stick will come automatically loaded. You won't have to program it. I'll already have a month worth of your cable on there. I won't actually activate the cable until you get the stick in your house. That way you'll get your full month. Versus I done put a whole month on there already and you done got it a week later and you done already got cheated out of 1 week worth of free cable. You get what I'm saying? So anyway, the Fire Stick is $60. Inbox me today if you want it. I'll have it loaded, already broken and ready. All you got to do is plug it in. And after that, you won't get billed until a month later, and all you'll be doing is paying $25 a month. Now, if you refer some more people to me, and some people buy a fire stick from me, I will knock $5 off of every customer that you send. So if you send me 2 customers, that's going to be $10 there. So you'll only be paying what, $15 a month. So you know, however, do the math. But yeah, so I do have cable. I also do t-shirts, guys, and I also do cups, tumblers. Inbox me, hit me up. Let me know if you want me to make a custom t-shirt or a custom tumbler. I do have small tumblers for kids now. I do have sippy cup tumblers as well. So hit me up, inbox me, Cafe de Paris 79. Anybody else want to donate to my movement? $ DymondGyrl. You know, more than appreciate it. I'm trying to upgrade my channel, trying to get a better mic, get better things going, so my quality of my videos is much better. So anyway, y'all be blessed. It is your diva and knowledge, Lady Mocha, represent Mocha's Cafe de Paris, where I'm always serving you knowledge and breaking you off with a slice of wisdom. So y'all take care, be blessed.